Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful as always that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting on my channel. I appreciate the support. In this one, I want to speak to you guys about the fact that INFJs have a really hard time understanding their romantic inclinations. Actually, we're always fighting the fact that yes, it's nice to be in a relationship, and yes, sometimes it's nice to be in a partnership or have a significant other or have someone in our life who cares about us and who wants our best. We're always fighting that intimacy thing. We are the kind of people who we have a lot of love to give. As human beings, we have a lot of love to give in general. We're loving people, we're empaths. We care about the people in our life. We care about every being in the world. So obviously we have a lot of love to give to everyone around us. And it's nice when we have some particular person to give that love to, not specifically family or friends, but a significant other, because we can really take care of that person. And we really like having that individual so we can help them become better and bigger and bolder. And we can help them with their dreams and aspirations. We can support them. We can tell them they're awesome and they're going to do the best wherever they go. And we can, feed them and, make sure that they eat properly and sleep properly and all of that stuff. That's what we do. We take care of the people around us. And if you have a significant other, it's really nice because we can do all of those things. We can pour all of this love that we have onto that person. But we resist this idea of getting into a relationship so much as well. So we have these two sides to us, as with so many different things. We know we love and we want to be in a relationship, and we hate relationships and don't want to be in one at all. And this plays out a lot and almost every single day in my own life, when there are people always coming up to me and saying, I can't believe you're not in a relationship. How are you still single? And I think to myself, why would I want to be in a relationship? Why would I want to give up my freedom and my independence to be with someone when I can just live my life the way I want to live it? And what's wrong with you? Why would you even say that? And then I have moments where I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it would be nice to have someone where I could just talk to them about all these random things that are going on in my head, where I could share this awesome life with them, where I could talk to them about all these philosophical debates that I have in my head with myself. It'd be nice to kind of have someone else who could listen and understand me and have that conversation with me, right? So of course, we have these, as I said, two sides to us where we're like, yeah, I'd love to have a relationship. I hate relationships. I don't want relationships, right? We have these two random major portions to us. And I'm actually always surprised when I fall into a relationship, because it really is always just falling into a relationship. I never just kind of step into one consciously. I just fall into them, randomly it'll happen. Because if I didn't fall into it randomly, if I was consciously trying to do it, I would be so afraid to get into a relationship because of all the things that I know they're going to take away from me, like my individuality, my freedom, etc., that I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do it. So every single time I've actually gotten into a romantic relationship or a partnership in that manner, I've always kind of fallen into it. Either the other person has been so persistent that they were like, you have to get into a relationship with me, I love you, I want to be with you, and they consistently and persistently followed me around for months on end before I was like, all right, fine, let's do it, kind of thing, right? Or it was like, I was with this person and friends with this person, and we had a good relationship. And I thought, yeah, this is nice. I like hanging out with this person. They seem to understand me, and they're good friends. And eventually the friendship turned into love, and that's how I'd kind of fall into it. Oh, all of a sudden we're not just friends anymore. We're in a relationship, right? So it always just happens like that for me. And I've noticed a lot of you guys say similar things as well. That it's not just that you're consciously thinking to yourself, okay, cool, so this person seems nice and they seem suited to me, so let's get into a relationship. That's not how it happens for us, because as INFJs, as I said, we're always kind of running away from the idea, even though we really want to be intimate and in a relationship. We have this desire within us, as all human beings do. We have this desire to be in a relationship. We also have this ultimate powerful desire to run away from a relationship. And so these two conflicting, crazy parts of ourselves are always fighting against each other, right? And that's one of the reasons why I'm always surprised, as I said, that I fall into relationships, because these two fighting parts of me are so strong against each other, right? Like the part that really does not want to be in a relationship is the reason why I've been celibate and single for the last 3 years, happily so, because that part is getting stronger and stronger. The older I get, the more I realize that even though it's great being in a relationship, I am a little bit wary of the whole idea, because I don't know how to balance the work that I'm doing, the creative work, the spiritual work, and all that growth that I'm undertaking on my own. I don't know how to balance it with bringing another individual into my life. I mean, my schedule is already damn packed, right? It's like well packed to the hilt. I cannot do any more. If I had to bring another individual into the situation, where would I fit them in? I mean, I would have to give up my sleep or something, or my meals. I don't know. So it's always a debate within myself to be like, where would this person fit in? And even I barely have enough time for my friends. I barely have any time for my family. I barely have any time to even breathe sometimes. Some days I'm just working so much and doing so many interesting things, and I'm like, well, when would I meet this person, right? And if I'm not going to devote, as I said, I've said this in previous videos, if I will not be able to devote myself to my individual, to that significant other, as an INFJ, we're not going to do it. Because either we're going to do it really well and we're going to be one of the best partners possible, and we give ourselves to them in the ultimate way possible, or we're not going to be in a relationship at all. We're not going to be one of those people who dip their toes halfway and do a little bit and then pretend like we're in a relationship, or sleep. Or we just cannot do that. If we're going to commit ourselves to one person, if you decide, all right, this person is my significant other and I'm going to spend my time, I'm going to devote my energy to this person, then I'm going to devote my energy to this person. I'm going to spend all my time thinking about them and thinking about ways to make them happy and healthy and safe and ecstatic and fulfilled, etc. I'm always going to be thinking about how to make them better and happier, right? So a lot of my brain power that now I devote to my spirituality work and my creative work is going to go to that person. And in my head, as an individual, as an INFJ right now, I'm thinking to myself, we're not going to do anything that is going to be a waste of our time or energies. And right now, that major power, that mental power or time that I have, that I'm devoting to creative work, if I was going to devote it to someone else, it seems like a major waste of effort and time to me. No person on the planet right now seems worthy of that effort to me at this moment in time. Of course, that might change in the future, but at this moment in time, no person seems worthy of it, right? I'd rather devote all that stuff back to myself and back to my creative work and back to my spiritual work, which are my 3 main priorities right now, right? And so I don't think it's worth it right now in this moment in time. In the past, there were moments where I had that debate with myself and I decided, all right, this person is worth it. And yes, it might take away time from my own schedule and myself, but romantically, I think this is the right step to take because I'm going to learn so much from it as well. So in those moments, I decided, all right, cool. I'm going to take a few molecules or of energy and effort and things away from my creative work, from myself, from my spiritual work, and devote it to this person. And as time went on, I devoted more and more and more and more of myself to this individual. And then they eventually left me and I was like, what the hell, right? Like it seems like such a waste of time and effort when you devote so much of yourself to this individual and they kind of don't notice it or think of it as precious when you yourself as an INFJ are spending all this time and energy on them. And this is precious molecules of energy and effort that you're putting into this individual. And they don't even realize it. And you're like, that was a waste of time, right? And so that's what I think I'm missing in my romantic relationships and my inclination to be in a romantic relationship is that I don't believe that there is a person out there who's going to realize that every molecule of energy, effort, time, etc. that I take away from my stuff and put into you is every molecule more precious to me, right? I mean, it's so precious to me and I'm taking it away from stuff that I really care about and I'm giving it to you. It's like when, cats or dogs, your pets, especially cats, they go and they kill something like a squirrel or a bird and they'll come and put it next to your feet and they're like, oh, this is a precious gift that I'm giving to you. I want to keep it for myself, but you're important to me, so I'm giving it to you. That's basically what I think of it myself, that I'm like, all of this stuff that I could be doing for myself, I'm spending all this effort and time on you all of a sudden. Shouldn't you realize the importance of it? Shouldn't you realize how precious that stuff is to me? And shouldn't you realize in turn how precious you are to me as well? And so shouldn't you in turn create that preciousness within me as well? Like treat me as precious? And of course that never really comes to fruition. That never really happens. At least for me, it hasn't happened yet. Or it happens very rarely and it doesn't happen for long enough. So then that's obviously why I've decided that romantic relationships are not for me. And that's just the INFJ in me. We're not going to devote ourselves to something that is not going to lead to fruit or is not going to lead to something effortful or something good. And we're not going to waste our time or energy on something that we're like, yeah, I'd rather be spending that time and energy on myself, right? And so that's why I'm always, as I said, always surprised not only when I fall into a relationship, but also when any INFJ is in the relationship, I'm like, wow, you are awesome. Like you are something else, because it's so hard for us to get there that if you do, then I think it's a miracle in itself. More so than if any normal individual got into a relationship, at least in my opinion. All right. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I just wanted to share this with you because I've been thinking a lot about this, because I've been thinking that it's time to end my 3-year celibacy and perhaps start looking for a relationship. But as soon as I think about it, all of these thoughts come up and I wanted to share them with you. Again, if you guys have any questions about this or about any other topic, please do let me know by email only. Please email me. My email address is below in the description. And also, if you want to support me by donating $1 a month or $5 a month, you can do that by going to my Patreon site. My Patreon site link is also in the description below. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.